10:01, so you ready?
I'm ready. Just tell me,
All right.
raise your finger when you're ready.
Okay. I'm going to click Start Broadcast.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our conference call today. This is Robert Van Arlen from Senior Advisory Group, your business strategist here at Senior Advisory Group. Want to also say happy holidays to everyone. 2010, I got to say, it went quickly. It went by very, very fast. And today we're going to talk about how to get started right, on the right track, on the right path for 2011. On our call today, we have Craig Cerrana, Chief Marketing Officer. Craig's been directly responsible for over $200 million in direct media placements, including TV, radio, and print. And we're really going to talk about what works in marketing, the top 10 things that you should know about the future of marketing that you may not know. And we're going to jump right into this. Let's not waste any time, Craig. Let's just get right into this and share some concepts that are going to make a difference for 2011.
Guys, I hope everyone had a great Christmas. As Robert said, I've been involved in marketing for a long time. I've bought a lot of media. And we compiled a list for you today of the 10 things we think that are going to be really important in 2011 to help you distinguish your practice from your competition. Up on the screen here, we have our marketing plan sheet. If you haven't put down on paper yet some type of plan for 2011, I would encourage you to do so. Even if it's primitive, even if it may seem very simplistic, getting down on paper your marketing goals and sticking to them for the year is really important. Just set those basic goals, how many new clients you're after, how many referrals you're after, and then hold yourself accountable to that plan and see how you're stacking up throughout the year. We developed this marketing plan sheet to make it very simple for you. If you need a bit of a guide like this, please call your marketer. They have these. They'll send them to you. And then when I get them back, I can spend some time with you and maybe develop the goals a little deeper. You know, figure out, make a couple tweaks, you know, make a couple changes so that you guys really have a good plan for 2011. Moving forward here, we'll talk about number 10, and Robert's going to chime in on this as well. Engagement is not a fad. If you are not engaging your clients with your marketing, with your sales process, with your customer service, with your messaging, your experience, you're going to fall behind the pack. You have to be engaging them daily.
Engagement is everything. I have to say that. It is everything. And think about it this way. Craig just talked about the marketing planning piece. You have 3 days left, and a lot of us over the next 3 days probably not seeing as many clients as we would normally see, but it is an opportunity to get involved in engaging your clients a number of different ways and just putting that as part of your plan. 3 days left, and these 3 days are very critical. I mean, you can sit on the couch. There's going to be football games. We all know that's going to happen, but I'll tell you what, the way you finish determines the way you start also. Hey, Craig, why don't you go on to the next page here. Simple ways to engage, and some of you have heard me state this before. Think about, you know, now's the time to think about your office. Does it really exude confidence, stability, and success? And if it doesn't, I mean, right now is the time during this break, this holiday break, is the time to really get your office together. Get organized. Make sure you have the pictures of places that you travel. Make sure your office communicates, illustrates, demonstrates the image that you want to portray. Because it's interesting, if your office is organized, if it really illustrates, demonstrates who you are, believe it or not, when you're out in the public, when you're out meeting with somebody, that flows through you. Success books and magazines. Bring them something if you're going to their home or office. People like to know that you're thinking about them. So if you have an appointment or something, before you go into that office or to that home, you want to take something with them. Let them know you're stopping by Starbucks. Ask them if they want something. Take time to learn something about your client before you even get there. One of the things I always talk about is strategic differentiated engagement. The ambiance of your seminar or events. Many of you are going to do seminars for 2011, and that's going to be part of your plan. Every little detail counts. A customized menu. Any restaurant out there will develop a customized menu for you. for you if you ask. Know what that meal selection is. Know if in advance if somebody, if somebody has an allergy or something. Make sure that you are watching every detail. And the presentation of the food. Make sure it's what you expect. Have them to prepare a plate in advance so you can see it. Music to create a relaxed atmosphere. Very important. No one likes to walk into a cold room. As you plan for your seminars for 2011, think about what they're going to see when they walk into the room. Personalized title screen, maybe showing some of the pictures of where you've been, maybe showing your family. People want to connect with you. This is an emotional buy for someone. They are working from the emotional side of their brain. You are asking them to give you their money in exchange for a piece of paper. It's an emotional deal. Appointment urgency. The reason why you're having a seminar, and it's part of your 2011 plan, is to get appointments at the end of the day. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how you can bring that forward. Thank you cards for everyone that's attending your seminar. Whether you set an appointment with them or not, send everyone a thank you card. And next year, as part of your engagement plan, cards for Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, Veterans Day. Some of you have seen this form, but if you haven't, if you send me an email, I will send this form out to you. This is an engagement form, and this form, last week we had Greg Chick on a conference call. Greg Chick's one of our agents out in San Diego, California, and he and I designed this form together. It's a great form for you to engage your clients in a seminar. Open up the seminar with this form, just getting them focused on their financial goals. It's very simple, 30 seconds to complete. Guaranteed income, leaving money to the heirs, money for emergencies, not lose any principal, participation in gains and market without losses. All of these are simple questions, but it gets the client engaged. One of the things that Greg does is he has them to take this form, put it in an envelope, sign their name on that envelope. He picks them up as part of the closing process in his seminar. And when he goes to their homes on the appointment, he takes out the envelope, pulls it out, and says, we're going to focus on your goals today. That is engaging a client on another level. Let's move on.
Guys, so let's talk about number 9, exponential expectations. As everybody knows, there's been a ton of strife in the marketplace with the Bernie Madoffs of the world, and clients are more skeptical now than ever. So currently, advisors are barely keeping up with the client's expectations. Clients are adopting new technologies. They're looking for innovations. They're communicating differently. So the advisors that really embrace change and embrace innovation will be the ones that can engage the clients of tomorrow. The demographics are changing. There's more baby boomers becoming retirees than ever. And those clients are going to have different needs than today's retiree. So make sure you're staying ahead and getting the most cutting-edge technologies and innovations. How to embrace these technologies? You want to seek out innovation. You want to try and find products that are really solving the client's problems, more of a solution. It's going back to what Robert was talking about earlier. When a client leaves your office, do they feel like they've just been sold something, or do they feel like they just went through an emotional experience? Do they feel like the advisor engaged them and really cared about what their problems were? Embrace technology. You want to utilize social networks. You want to be utilizing Facebook and these types of methods for communicating with people, because the clients are changing. The clients of tomorrow are not going to be the same as today and yesterday. You want to use and you want to embrace the product innovations that we have here to kick your competition out the door. You really want to hone in on things, hone in on the differences between you and the other guy. You want to put yourself in the client's shoes. You want to understand, how to emotionally engage each client that comes through your door. Market the innovation, have appointment urgency, and don't be scared to be literal. Don't be scared to don't be beating around the bush. Come right to it. The clients are looking for honesty. They're looking for straightforwardness and people that present them the facts. That's what they're looking for. And here we have a quote we say often here, change is good if it is in the right direction. That's Winston Churchill. Number 8, and this is something we're seeing in the marketplace like crazy. Competition's increasing. It's as fierce as ever. And there's been a lot of proliferation. So there's a lot of products out there swimming in the sea of the same, or the sea of shame, however you'd like to call it. But this is creating more ambiguousness in the market. So you really want to make sure you're creating a meaningful message, something that makes you stand out from everybody else in the marketplace, because really caps and rates and this and that, it all sounds the same. You have to bring something to the table that's going to be very different, so that when your brand approaches a stranger, it seems different than everything they've seen before. So proliferation is going to be a big deal in 2011. Circle of influence, I'm going to let Robert chat about this a little bit, as he's a pro when it comes to creating advocates.
I have to say this. We have, many of you may have heard this story already. We have an advisor that's here. His name is Bill. Bill has gone year after year not producing anywhere over $1 million, and Bill right now is on track for over $8 million, $9 million this year, 2010. And the reason being is that Bill caught on to something, and that is how to build advocacies, advocates with your clients. Not just referrals. Referrals are one thing. Advocates are when they are so influenced by you that they want to help you. If your advocate trusts you, their trust for your brand will influence their entire circle of friends and family. It's not just word of mouth, but it's the right word of mouth that matters. And I'll talk a little bit more about this and how he does it. I have to say this. Building an advocate is getting to know your client at a whole different level. I mean, it is really understanding what they are passionate about. And Bill was able to do that, found out the guy was passionate about his family. He's also passionate about his football team. He's passionate about his charity, and Bill was able to get involved at all 3 levels. Now Bill's been invited to anniversary parties, been sitting at the table with his friends, and is now writing his friends and creating more advocates through those friends by getting to know what they're passionate about. Let's go ahead and move on, Craig.
They're talking to each other before they're talking to you. This is an extremely important slide, and it also goes back to referencing advocates. Social networking. This is the exchange of information between peers. It's what used to happen at a cocktail party or on a soccer field. 2 guys chatting with each other, exchanging information, whether it's about their cell phone or their financial advisor or what's going on in their day-to-day life. Now it's happening on a grand scale, and it's happening in information technology like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. Tomorrow's clients are going to be savvy when it comes to these platforms. So if you're creating advocates, this is going to be a great way for those advocates to influence their circle. If you're not, if clients are walking out of your office merely satisfied or maybe even unsatisfied, their level of influence on your practice is going to be unbelievable. Because when they tweet that they were unhappy, or they put a status on their Facebook that you didn't solve their problems, or you seemed like you're just trying to sell them something, now that's going to be a big problem for you. Because before, maybe it was just them at their kitchen table telling one of their friends or one of their family members. Today and tomorrow, it's going to be a blast on their Facebook that goes out to 500 of their friends. So it's more critical than ever that you are engaging every single individual that comes through your door. You better be exceeding the client's expectations, because they can become a walking technology billboard for your practice. Talk here about number 5. A lot of advertising that we review in this office does not have a good emotional hook. So we work with you guys to try and get that in there. your advertising has got to be emotional. It has to trigger a feeling inside of somebody that views that advertisement. If it doesn't, it's not memorable. If the advertising is not memorable, it's not worth doing. Because the point of advertising is to put that message in somebody's mind so that when they're interested in what you said, they remember your message and go find you. It's kind of like advertising for tires. You see the advertising every week, but you don't act on it until you have a flat tire or until you need new tires. It's the same thing. Just because somebody sees your advertisement and your phone doesn't ring the next week, that doesn't mean the advertisement didn't work, because maybe they're not ready to see you yet, or maybe what you have they're not ready for. But at some point, they're going to be. And if your advertising is memorable, they'll remember it. So make sure it's different. Make sure it's emotional. Make sure it's not Me Too. Just don't put out another advertising, hey, 8% interest rate, this, that, and the next thing, 2% cap, whatever it is. That's not memorable. That gets fluffed over and mixed in with the clutter. We talk about ethnosmomical. This is an interesting word. It has to do with creating a brand that you stand for. You know, you've got to make sure that you're doing things extremely effectively and that your brand is believable, it's sustainable, and it's engaging. You better stand for something that matters and that's different. If you just stand for the same thing as everybody else, you're never going to get anywhere. You have to be different and you have to matter. That's why Nike became so successful. It wasn't because their running shoes were any better than anyone else's. It's because their advertising campaign that's 25 years strong now, Just Do It, tapped in, was emotional, and was different than everything else in the market. Number 3, service, service, service. This is absolutely mission critical to you running your practice. As we talked earlier, you know, people have a larger circle of influence, a larger communication base, and if you're not providing that client service, that 100% Ritz-Carlton white glove, end-all, be-all service, you're shortchanging yourself, because you're allowing a chance for you to engage a client and not in a 100% manner. Well, you never know what that client's going to say about you. We're talking about a brand that's really new. It's about a 5-year-old brand. It's Zappos. It's one of the fastest companies ever to go from 0 to $1 billion in sales. And what do? They sell shoes online, but their brand doesn't mean that. Their brand is service. Their brand is how they treat their customers. People buy shoes from Zappos because, you know what, they know every box that they get has a return label and they can ship them back, no questions asked. So Zappos, as a brand, really has come to stand for incredible service in the shoe area, versus they're not known as an online shoe retailer. They're known as an online retailer with impeccable service. Number 2, brand meet value. Your brand is, the word brand is going to become a surrogate for value in the future. What makes your services valuable to your clients? That's extremely important. The clients are going to be more discerning than ever. They're more skeptical than ever. So the brand better represent a significant value to the client. Otherwise, it's not going to mean anything. What makes you better? What are you better at than anyone else in your local marketplace? What innovation do you have access to that only a limited number of advisors do? What can you do for your clients that your competition can't? Ultimately, why you? What does your brand represent? Are you focused? Do you focus in on those things that you know you do better than everyone else? If you're not focused on those things, your brand won't mean anything. You have to focus on what you're better than everyone else. There's a quote here from Bill Cosby. We use this around the office all the time. I don't know the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everybody. If you're out there chasing the shiny things, chasing other product and doing other things and doing a little long-term care and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, you will not stand for anything, and your brand will it'll just get lost in the clutter. Lastly, and most importantly, and hopefully you guys are taking advantage of the focus groups that we can do here with your clients so that you can learn about what your clients and how they really perceive you in an honest fashion, because how you think they perceive you and how they really perceive you are probably quite different. Excessive deliberation on investing and retirement plans will continue. This has been a theme throughout this webinar. I hope you take it away. Tomorrow's clients will be more skeptical and more discerning than ever. Are you giving your clients a compelling reason to do business with you? You know, if you haven't taken advantage of that focus group, I absolutely would take advantage of it, because what you'll learn from your clients is better than any marketing advice you can get from us or anyone else, and it will really help you define yourself moving forward. Again, remember, value is going to be what your clients say it is. Not what I say it is, not what you say it is, not what Robert thinks it is. It's going to be what the client thinks.
Lastly, you want to talk about connectivity first, Craig?
Yeah, we can go through connectivity. Guys, super important that you're connecting with us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Here's our YouTube page. We post recordings of our webinars. We post other videos. We post some marketing videos. There are things that can help you and that you can take a look at your own leisure. Here's our LinkedIn. You guys want to connect with us on LinkedIn. We're posting constantly messages there about what's happening, both product and marketing-wise. Here's our Facebook. If you're not friends with us, I would encourage you to be friends with us. Facebook and Twitter are the two fastest ways we can get messages to you in a non-intrusive way. So on our Facebook, we're constantly posting articles related to annuities. We're posting marketing message related to marketing financial practices. We're posting messages related to our webinars or our trainings. And again, and this is a quick way for you to get instant product updates. A lot of times we hear a rate change and somebody may or may not have got the email from us. If you're connected with us on Facebook and Twitter, you will get these updates instantaneously and know when things have changed. Lastly, here's our Twitter. It's a great way, again, just like Facebook, you can connect with us on Twitter, and also Twitter will send you our tweets to your mobile phone. So if anything happens, a rate changes or allocation change or whatever it may be, you can get it instantaneously right on your cell phone through Twitter. So if you're not connected with us, definitely connect with us. We send out an email once a month where you can befriend us, you can follow us on Twitter, you can join us on LinkedIn. Again, it's mission critical for moving forward that we're all connected together on these social media platforms.
You know, I often say this, Craig, the only silver bullet, though, at the end of the day, the only silver bullet is you. And we've got 3 days left, and as I started this call, it's all about, you know, planning and getting prepared for next year, 2000. It's how you finish determines how you start. Now, Craig opened up with the marketing plan document. If you have not gotten that document and filled it out, you want to get to your marketers today, and they will send you the document. Craig will definitely go through that with you. There is no better time to get started on 2011 than right now. And many of you I've been in contact with. I know that you're rolling forward. Many of you are even still writing business between now and the end of the year, because you understand that professionalism means you've got to practice this every day. And part of your practice can determine how you're going to succeed next year. As we started out, we talked about engagement and talked about the power of engagement and the engagement form. We talked about also embracing change. You know, the internet has brought a lot of change, proliferation, building advocates, your social networking. All of this really this is still you and your silver bullet. Differentiation, the emotional side of differentiation, creating a different brand, being different, not just being like every other advisor out there. Maybe that includes part of service being part of your brand. Just extraordinary service that's over the top. Think about all of these little things that you can do and you can practice to build your brand, to build your image, so that when you go see somebody, they are feeling that they are dealing with a confident, competent individual, because people buy from people that they like. People buy from people that they trust. What makes you better? Think about that. What really makes me better than the next advisor that's out there? You know, product knowledge is one thing, but really understanding how to tap into a potential client on an emotional level so that they become your advocate, so that they understand that you're concerned about them, so that they understand that you are very concerned about what they might be passionate about. That is another level. And at the end of the day, focus is everything. It's all about focus. Your connectivity tools. Do you have Twitter? Do you have Facebook? Are they communicating the brand and image that you want to communicate? Is your website communicating the brand and image that you want it to communicate? That's what this is all about. We're here to help. Definitely give us a call. Our number hasn't changed, 800-256-1696. And feel free to send us an email. And if there's anything that you need, if you need the engagement form, you can request that from me via email, and I'll send it to you today. Anyway, I want to thank you for your business in 2010. Let's get started. The only silver bullet's you. Look forward to continuing to communicate and giving you tips that will help you be successful in 2011. Thank you again for your participation on this call.